questions about Jane and Anne. Are Jane and Anne overweight?
No, Jane and Anne aren't
No,
overweight.
Jane and Anne aren't overweight. Are they slim?
Yes, they're slim.
Yes, they're slim. Are they slim or overweight?
They're slim.
They're slim. Two years ago, were they slim?
No, there aren't. They were
No,
2 years
they
ago. They
weren't
weren't
slim
slim.
2 years ago. 2 years ago, were they slim or overweight?
2 years ago, they were slim.
2 years
2 years
ago,
were
they were
overweight.
overweight.
2 years ago, they were overweight.
Are they still overweight now?
No, they are no longer overweight now.
No, they aren't. Now, they're no longer overweight. Did they used to be overweight?
Yes, that's right. They used to be overweight.
Yes, that's correct. They used to be overweight. When were they overweight?
They were overweight 2 years ago.
They were overweight 2 years ago. Two years ago, were Jane and Anne both overweight?
Yes, 2 years ago were Jane and Anne were both
Yes,
overweight.
that's correct. 2 years ago, Jane and Anne were both overweight. Were they equally overweight?
No, they were. One of them
No,
was
they weren't
more
equally
overweight than the
overweight.
other.
One of them was more overweight than the other. Was Anne more overweight than Jane?
No, Anne wasn't more overweight than
No,
Jane.
Anne wasn't more overweight than Jane. Who was more overweight than the other?
Well, Jane was more overweight than
Jane
Anne.
was more overweight than Anne. Were Jane a little overweight or very overweight?
Was Jane?
Jane was
Jane
very
was
overweight.
very overweight.
What about Anne? Was Anne a little overweight or very overweight?
Anne was a little overweight. Anne was a little
Anne
overweight.
was a little overweight.
Anne was a little overweight.
Tell me again, who was more overweight than the other?
Well, Jane was more overweight than Anne.
Jane was more overweight than Anne. Is Jane still overweight?
No, Jane is no longer overweight.
No, Jane is no longer overweight. Is Anne still overweight?
No, Anne is no longer overweight.
No, Anne is no longer overweight. Did Jane and Anne used to be overweight?
Yes, Jane and Anne used to be overweight.
Yes, Jane and Anne used to be overweight. When were they overweight?
They were overweight 2 years ago.
They were overweight 2 years ago. How overweight were they?
Well, Jane was very overweight and Anne was a little overweight.
Well, Jane was very overweight and Anne was a little overweight. Now, I'm going to ask questions about Kay and her brother Tom. When Kay and Tom were little, did they think Superman was real?
When Kay and Tom were little, they didn't think Superman was real.
They didn't think Superman was real when they were little. Who did they think was real when they were little?
They thought Santa Claus was real when they were little.
When they were little, they thought Santa Claus was real. Did they think zombie was real?
No, they didn't think zombies
No,
were
they
real.
didn't think zombie was real.
No, they didn't think
Who
zombies
does it
were
think was
real.
real?
They thought Santa Claus wasn't real.
They
They thought
thought
Santa
Santa
Claus was
Claus was
real.
real. When Tom was a boy, did he have a friend named Nick?
When Tom was a boy, he had a friend named Nick.
Yes, that's correct. When Tom was a boy, he had a friend named Nick. What did Nick tell him one day?
Nick told him that Santa wasn't real.
One day, Nick told him that Santa Claus wasn't real.
One day, Nick told him that
Did
Santa
Nick
Claus
tell
wasn't
him
real.
that Superman wasn't real?
No, Nick didn't tell him that Superman wasn't
No,
real.
Nick didn't tell him that Superman wasn't real. Did Nick tell him that zombies weren't real?
No, Nick didn't tell him that zombies
No,
were
Nick
real.
didn't tell him that zombies weren't real. What did Nick tell him?
Nick told him that Santa Claus wasn't real.
Nick told him that Santa Claus wasn't real.
Nick told him that Santa Claus wasn't real.
When Tom realized that Santa Claus wasn't real, did he feel angry?
When Tom realized Santa Claus wasn't real, he didn't feel
No,
angry.
that's not how we felt. When Tom realized that
No,
Santa
that's
wasn't
not how he
real,
felt.
he didn't feel angry.
When Tom realized that Santa
Did he feel embarrassed?
wasn't real, he didn't feel angry. No, he didn't
No, he didn't feel
feel
embarrassed. How did he feel?
He felt surprised and sad at the same time.
He felt surprised and sad at the same time.
He felt surprised and sad at the
Who
same
was
time.
surprised and sad at the same time?
It was Tom was surprised and sad at the same time.
It was Tom.
It
Tom was
was
surprised
Tom.
and sad at the
Tom
same
was surprised
time.
and sad at the same time.
When Tom got home that day, what did he do?
When Tom got home that day, he told Kate that Santa didn't actually exist.
When Tom got home that day, he told Kate that Santa didn't actually exist. Did he tell Kate that their parents were sick?
No, he didn't tell Kate that their parents were sick.
No, he didn't tell Kate that their parents were sick. Did he tell Kate that ghosts didn't actually exist?
No, he didn't tell Kate that ghosts didn't actually exist.
No, he didn't tell Kate that ghosts didn't actually exist. What did he tell Kate?
He told Kate that Santa Claus didn't actually exist.
He told Kate that Santa didn't actually exist. When Kate realized that Santa didn't exist, did she laugh?
When Kate realized that Santa didn't actually exist, she didn't laugh.
No, Kate didn't laugh when she realized that Santa didn't exist. What happened when she realized that Santa didn't exist?
Well, when she realized that Santa didn't actually exist, she cried for almost
When
an
she
hour.
realized that Santa didn't exist, she cried for almost an hour. Does she cry for just a few minutes?
No, she didn't cry for just a few minutes.
No, she didn't cry for just a few minutes. How long does she cry?
She cried for almost an hour.
She cried for almost an hour.
She cried for almost an hour.
Was it Tom who cried for almost an hour?
No, it wasn't Tom. who cried for almost
No,
an
it
hour.
wasn't Tom who cried for almost an hour. Who cried for almost an hour?
It was
It was Kate.
Kate.
Kate cried for almost an hour. Now, I'm going to ask questions about two sisters named Grace and Emma. Do Grace and Emma have pets?
Yes, Grace and Emma have pets.
Yes, Grace and Emma have pets. Are their pets dogs?
No, their pets aren't dogs.
No, their pets aren't dogs. Are their pets cats?
No, their pets aren't cats.
No, their pets aren't cats. What kind of animal are their pets?
Well, their pets are
Their
spiders.
pets are spiders. How many spiders do they have?
They have 3 spiders.
They have 3 spiders. Do they think their spiders are scary?
No, they didn't. No, they don't think their spiders
No, they
are
don't
scary.
think their spiders are scary. What do they think about their spiders?
They think their spiders are cute.
Well, they think their spiders are cute. When Grace and Emma were young, were they afraid of birds?
When Grace and Emma were young, they weren't afraid of birds.
No, they weren't afraid of birds when they were young. Were they afraid of dogs?
No, they weren't afraid of dogs.
No, they weren't afraid of dogs. What were they afraid of?
They were afraid of spiders.
They were afraid of spiders. When they were young, did they think spiders were cute?
When they were young, they didn't think spiders were cute.
No, they didn't think spiders were cute when they were young. Did they think spiders were interesting?
No, they didn't think spiders were interesting.
No, they didn't think spiders were interesting. What did they think about spiders?
They thought spiders were really scary.
They thought spiders were really scary. Who thought spiders were scary?
It was Grace and Emma.
Grace and Emma thought spiders were scary. Did Grace and Emma watch a cartoon one day?
Yes, Grace and Emma watched the cartoon one day.
Yes, they did. Grace and Emma watched a cartoon one day.
Yes, they did.
Was the
Grace and Emma
cartoon
watched
about
the cartoon
dogs?
one day. No, the cartoon
No,
wasn't about dogs.
the cartoon wasn't about dogs. Was the cartoon about cats?
No, the cartoon wasn't about cats.
No, the cartoon wasn't about cats either.
No, the
What
cartoon
was the
wasn't about
cartoon
cats
about?
either. The cartoon was about spiders.
The cartoon was about spiders. Were there spiders in the cartoon?
Yes, there were spiders in the cartoon.
There were spiders in a cartoon. While watching the cartoon, did they feel bored?
No, while watching the cartoon, they weren't.
No, they didn't feel bored while watching the cartoon. Was the cartoon boring?
No, the cartoon wasn't boring.
No, the cartoon wasn't boring. Was the cartoon funny?
Yes, the cartoon was funny.
Yes, the cartoon was funny. Was the spiders in the cartoon scary?
No, the spiders in the cartoon were scary.
No, the spiders in the cartoon weren't scary. Were the spiders in the cartoon cute?
Yes, spiders in the cartoon were cute.
Yes, the spiders in the cartoon were cute. Before they watched the cartoon, were they afraid of spiders?
Before they watched the cartoon, they were afraid of spiders.
Yes, that's correct. Before they watched the cartoon, they were afraid of spiders. What happened after they watched the cartoon?
Well, after they watched the cartoon, their
After
fears
they watched the
about spiders
cartoon, the fear of
was
spider was
completely gone.
completely gone. After they watched the cartoon, were they still afraid of spiders?
After they watched the cartoon, they were they were no longer afraid of spiders.
No, they weren't. After they watched the cartoon, they were no longer afraid of spiders. Was the fear of spiders completely gone?
Yes, their fear of spiders was completely gone.
Yes, that's correct. The fear of spiders was completely gone.